What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks and the man who is fighting through injury, fighting through illness, doing it all to bring you the great content. Travis, you've been still hitting the morning shows, still been making all your appearances, even though you're sick. How are you feeling today? And when are we going to get back to full strength, Travis?
I feel like I'm fine. I feel like I'm at full strength. The COVID won't let me do anything. So I'm still stuck in quarantine, but hey, things are going good for the most part. Hoping we can get a good basketball game at some point. Like I've been waiting. I'm like honestly, like I turn the game on. Like I watch it and then I go, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. Like literally during the game, I'll just like turn it off and be like, I'll be back in the fourth or something or later on. It's been
That's where having two TVs is so clutch because I can leave it on, but I mean, I'll just throw on like a Cary Grant movie or something. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
this
mean,
is
I got
unbelievable.
it on in the background, but like I'm like playing like video games or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
just I've lost interest. Like it's amazing because I don't typically lose interest in NBA games, especially playoff games. But it's been really bad. Like
It's been tough.
it's not been good. So it has not
Our
been.
job feels like work all of a sudden. What is this? Like, normally, it's the best job in the world. Now it's like I have to watch this whole game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it has not been good basketball as of late. So, I mean, there's been some exciting moments right here and there. Of course, the dunk on, well, the Wiggins dunk on Luca was really
Yeah.
awesome. That was fun to watch. The Celtics series has just been gross, but hey, we're at 2-2, kind of where I thought it would be. I thought this thing would get to where it's at like this, like 2-2, and then it'd just be a 3-game series, and that's where we're at. So hopefully we can get a fun 3-game series between Miami and Boston, and then I'm hoping that I mean, Dallas can steal one game tonight, like maybe, like please, Reggie Bullock, do not shoot 0 for 10. Like find a way to get the ball into the hoop. Do not be a traffic cone like Chris Paul, Reggie Bullock. Come on, we need you to make some buckets. So hopefully we can get a good series tonight, or not a good series, just a good game tonight. Let's start there, spread one good game. That's what we're going to shoot for, and then we'll make it 2 games, and we'll just keep steamrolling into the finals.
I mean, it's been a while. Tyler, do you have that tweet that you sent me last night that actually detailed like how gross these blowouts have been?
Yeah, the margin of victory last 17 playoff games 29, 6, 9, 25, 25, 11, 33, 28, 13, 14, 27, 9, 3, 39, 30, 35. Average margin of victory has been 19.8 points. There's been a total of 7 clutch minutes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
like,
been kind of rough. And you know what? I mean, do you remember when the game one of the Net Celtics? And I was like, yes, the playoffs are here. You know, like this is just going to be night after night of drama, the best TV, you can find, scripted. You can't script this stuff. And it just hasn't turned out that way. So, hey, we'll be talking more about the Heat and the Celtics tomorrow. But we're going to get Travis's thoughts before he leaves. But let's dive into tonight. Interesting situation here. If any team is just going to concede and go for the gentlemen's to wrap it up at home, it does feel like it's that Golden State Warriors team. Although, to be fair, I felt the Mavericks had their advantages in the last game or their opportunities, and they failed to take advantage. And one of the things that we preached, Travis, came back to bite us, right? We said these role players, they shoot better at home. They play better at home. They have more energy at home. The shots were there. These were not. It's not like Bullock throwing up with the hand in his face. And we're going, what is that shot? Right? These are wide open shots that he was taking. You can't discredit the shot selection. It was just the execution. So before I give out, my play that I really like, I want to hear your thoughts on how you're approaching tonight's game from a betting perspective, Travis. And we'll start with the side. It's essentially pick the winner. I think it's Golden State Warriors -1 right now. Yeah, it hasn't moved. Our total is 215.5. Thoughts on the bet side before we jump into building a lineup?
Yeah, I don't think I'm betting much on this game. I'll just say that. Like, but I would take the Dallas side. I did have Dallas last game, and that was
I did
unfortunate
too.
they
That
couldn't.
hurt.
I know. I thought they'd get the job done too. And you got a great performance from Dinwiddie off the bench, right? I mean, he put up 25. Like that's huge. And the one thing about Dallas, especially I noticed in like game one, and like you noticed it in game two also, which made me like feel confident in it, is like Dallas is getting open shots, right? Like the threes are there. It's not like they're just like shooting contested threes or like it's just too difficult on Luka. Like they have open shots. They're just missing. Like it's pathetic. So that's why I thought maybe at home they'd get the job done in that game 3. But I know there was an interesting quote from Draymond's spread. He said Dallas is a team that's not going to quit. He said they're not going to give up. And we felt like we had to win game 3 that much more because we knew they're a team that just is not like they're going to fight and claw and just will not give up. So like they said they kind of poured a little more into the tank in the game 3. Like they definitely like put an effort on like making sure they won that game 3. So do we see them maybe Warriors get a little, little cocky? Maybe they fall apart a little bit. Maybe the NBA refs get involved. I'm not sure if they're going to get involved enough to try and make it go back to Golden State. But if it does go back to Golden State, I'm sure the Warriors are happy winning it there. So if I have to pick a side, I'm on Dallas +1 because I don't think we're getting a sweep, right? Like I just don't think we are. But I'm not running to the window to bet it spread. I'll at least say that.
Tyler, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to side with the sweep because I think Dallas is just flat out dead. They're playing like a 6-man rotation. They played pretty much the max games they could have played in the playoffs outside of one extra game they could have played against the Jazz. So they're pretty much maxed out. These guys are tired. Now they get to play this motion offense. I thought they had a chance in the beginning. I think this team's dead. I think they just come out and just give it up to this Golden State team tonight. But the way my luck's been going, bet Dallas by 11 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you almost want to look into those alternative lines, whatever side you play, because these games just simply haven't been close. Tyler, let me start with you. Total 215.5. Boy, was that a kick last night taking that over? It was 18-1 at one point. How do we approach this total?
I think they had like 22 points in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an absolutely pathetic performance. And it's just like, I mean, first of all, the NBA is never going to be in trouble, but they are blowing opportunities really to build their sport. And I don't know what they do. Holden and I were kind of going back and forth on Twitter, 3-point variance. And I was thinking about this, right? So let's say the old days, right? Back when I was a kid, who's our guy? Make it happen. Says 80 to 90s NBAs is better, where everyone's hitting mid-range, right? So let's just say, right, an average team hits about, their goals, they hit 50% from 2, 33% from 3, right? Now let's go with like 6% variations, right? So, if I'm taking all mid-range, I can go 56% from 3 or 44% from 2. When you go down, or from 2, when you go down to 3, I'm not explaining this very well. 33% drop shoot either 26% or 39% from 3. The way it's set up now, it's just set up for wild variations because you're going for a lower percentage shot that gives you more reward. So it just seems like the way the NBA is set up now, they were smart to embrace the 3-pointers. It is the ideal, optimal strategy that these teams are employing. But the NBA's got to look at the end result here, that you're going to get less blowouts and you're going to get less classic games, like the Pacers and the Knicks back in the day. I'm really dating myself here, right? The Cavaliers and the Bulls, all these great games that we watched where it felt like every game was just an epic battle, and we couldn't wait for the next one. It's really tough for us. Tyler, this is a long-winded way for me to say I don't know how to approach this total. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with We the People on we got to get the gift with the confused face and all the numbers for what you just all said.
Yeah, I got to write that down.
Lost.
I didn't explain it very well.
Yeah, I just heard numbers, variations. I'm lost, but I'm leaning towards the under in this game.
My point is if you shoot primarily 2s, even with shooting variance, you're more likely to have a way closer score.
Yeah, I just think
that was my point. I didn't explain it very well.
I think Dallas has no legs left under them. I mean, playing a short
with
rotation.
The variance or without it, you're supposed to have a closer.
I'm saying if you use it like an average 6% deviation and you're only shooting 2s, that you're more likely to have a closer score than a 6% variation when you're all shooting primarily 3s.
Yeah, yes, that's correct. That's what's been that's what made basketball a little frustrating lately, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Spread.
Oh my gosh. And of course it wouldn't be an NBA rundown without me getting roasted in the chat. They don't think that I like the close games, the epic battles, the clutch shot making. West Coast Jim thinks I just like the short shorts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Fred, I do have one comment I can make for you. Did you hear the Kings are looking to trade their draft pick for a savvy veteran, some veteran out there like a Jeremy Grant to help put them over the top?
I tried to tell Spread yesterday, and he blew me off. I said, when Adam Silver walks out there when the 4th pick's on the board, and he goes, this pick has been traded to New York for Julius Randle, Derrick Rose, and number 11. I don't want to hear him crying about it. Now, look, here you come.
Oh, I'm going to cry about it. I'm going to cry about it because, right, look at the landscape. There's so many veterans available that will take a perennial lottery team and just push them over the top into championship contention, right? I mean, they're just all over the place. Teams are just looking to trade these guys away.
Yes,
unbelievable.
I mean, Julius Randle, he's looking for Jeremy Grant to just come and save the franchise.
I mean, who's available? Even Levine, right? Like, what does Levine even do for you? Even if, like, they're talking about him to the Lakers. I'm like, I don't know if that pushes them over the top. Unbelievable here. Unbelievable. I like how this is really, we give out the winners and it's really just turned into like raising my blood pressure as well. But I mean, that's really not on you guys. That's just giving the facts about how inept this Kings organization is. So, as bad as the NBA playoffs have been and as non-competitive is, that's how non-competitive my local team is. And I'm even wearing the stupid shirt today. I don't even know why, but, all right, Travis, what else you got for tonight's game?
Yeah, totally not excited for tonight's game, but let's look at DFS stuff for it. So Luka captains, like I personally think like Luka captain's the way to go and just kind of do it at this point. One reason why is like when you play these like other teams where it's like Kevon Looney captain, right? Like first of all, you got to get that correct, the cheap captain. And then what you do, you easily can put in all the raw point guys. And there's not as many combinations as when you put in like the top tier captain. Like when you can mix in, like you're not going to put like a Kevon Looney captain and then go like a Damian Lee as like a cheap option, right? Like those builds just don't work. So I think personally the best way to go is to be going Luka captain tonight. And then from there, you got to know who that cheap guy is. Who's going to be like the guy to get run. Now, one of the guys who I know Steve Kerr talked about and he has gotten run is Moses Moody. If you look at the minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 16 minutes. I have to see, I don't think many of that 16 was like really any blowout against Dallas against that, because that one game wasn't really totally a blowout. It was like a 10-point game down the stretch. But Moody did play 16 minutes, shot 0 for 3. Maybe it's Moses Moody as like a cheap option at 1.5K, but I think the key on this slate is going to be figuring out who on earth is the cheap guy to get like that, like really good run for you. Who knows if Dallas gets blown out? Let's say you play the narrative that Dallas is just done, right? Like Tyler was saying, they're just completely done. Are they really going to run Reggie Bullock out there for 44 minutes? Like you're probably going to like pull him at like the 8-minute mark or so and just like kind of like let him get.
Are they in an elimination game though? There's nothing to save them for.
I mean, like those guys are so dead tired though. You know what I mean? Like I could see Dallas wave the white flag. That's all I'm saying. Like I could see it.
Did it feel like they were waving the white flag in the interviews to Travis? Because I know you love interviews, right?
And Luka's
already so Luka's already talking about, hey, I'm only 23. This is my first conference finals. This is a great learning experience. No matter what happens from here, right? I mean, it felt like they were already going back to the drawing board here, but I don't want to take too much from that.
Well, yeah. I'm not sure. West Coast Jim says Moody will be like 50%. Well, of course, if he's 50%, I'm not as excited, but I'll admit I haven't looked at a ton of ownership yet for this. But I do think there's like, if you are going to take shots on like some cheap guys, like the guys that take shots on are the guys that like, they just produce fantasy points, right? Like when they're out on the floor for that limited amount of time, they produce fantasy points. And you know who produces fantasy points? Trey Burke. I mean, he's a guy, when he's out there, even if it's 5 minutes, he will chuck. So like, I'm kind of looking at those guys as options to go to. Because Dallas is down 0-3, is there anyone that they might try and get a little more creative with? I'm trying to think, like, do they try to use Frank Ntilikina a little bit more? Because they used him 10 minutes against Golden State, then they went 4-4. Maybe they go back to him and try and change that up. I'm trying to think. Do you have any ideas, Spread? Like, who could be the guy? I mean, it's not going to be Josh Green, right? The Josh Green minutes weren't it for 5 minutes when I saw those.
That's why I think they're ready to go back to the drawing board. What's the answer? How is nicotine the answer? Because he's not going to give you any.
There's only one guy left they haven't thrown out there, and it's going with what Memphis tried to do, and their guy's just way too slow.
Who?
Putting Boban out there.
Oh,
Gosh,
wow.
can we please at least like
But think about how Memphis stopped them. They put a big guy in the middle. Like that's their only big guy they can plug in the middle.
We've suffered through enough playoffs. Let us at least get Boban for fun. If you're gonna make this game be boring, at least give us Boban, right?
I don't even know what to say.
I just want to have fun at this point, Spread. I see a blowout every single game. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I get what Tyler's saying. The problem is, I mean, you'll really be able to pick and roll Boban pretty bad. So,
yeah, that's the thing is like he's just gonna get mauled when he's out there. So it's like Woody saves you under the rim, he's just gonna kill you on the other end.
I get what you're getting at, but I don't know. I mean, selfishly, for my own viewership standpoint, I would like to have it so I can watch it and it'd be fun. But I don't think I could actually click his name in DFS. It'd be a struggle. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's worth it either. And I don't think that these guys. I think that even they're down by 25, we see the normal rotation. Just because it's an elimination game.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? You know.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I remember seeing in the last game though is like these like cheap guys, like they can help get there with like the build, like the way it's set up, and it's mainly because the mid tier has been so bad. Now it just depends if the mid tier continues to be as horrendous as it's been. Like the Maxi Cleavers of the world, the Reggie Bullocks, the Dorian Finney-Smiths, like those mid tier guys have been terrible. Where going like 4 guys at the top and a cheap mid tier guy has made more sense. Now, if these guys in the mid tier start to play a little bit better, well, then that mid tier build could make a little more sense and could be more valuable. So I don't know. Maybe that's the strategy. Maybe the strategy is trying to get more of those mid tier guys in there, just because maybe people aren't going to do it because they've seen it. Like
who is officially considered mid tier?
What?
What's your mid tier? What, 6K or lower?
Yeah, it's probably.
Like Looney's not mid-tier anymore, is he?
I mean, Dinwiddie's not. I mean, he's. I guess Dinwiddie and Looney. I mean, these prices have gone up on some of these guys.
I know that it's like every one that we found that was quote unquote mid-tier has now been raised.
Well, I mean, like Dorian Finney-Smith is 6'6", Bullock 5'8", Maxey 4'2". Yeah, I mean, Bertans is one I expect people to go to him. I know he was on the winner last time, and he at least gets like 7 to 13 minutes so far in the first.
He chugs. So. He fits the Travis agenda. Get in there and chuck no matter how many minutes you get.
Hey, he definitely does. I mean, the Bertans 2.6. I think he's gonna be a little popular, but I think for good reason. I think he's definitely a good play to get exposure to. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, Sterling. Could they go Sterling Brown at all? Probably not. I mean, it's more the blowout angle. So. Yeah. It just depends if you want to play the blowout angle. You just got to kind of take your pick.
It's not for example, I know the blowout angle was good last night, right? And I even saw them on the Final Countdown kind of talking about it as a possibility. But Miami's thinking we got to get ready to go back to Game 5, right?
Well,
we're in the middle of the war right now.
Spread the blowout angle actually didn't work because
I didn't see the optimal lineup.
The winner maybe it was. It may have been the optimal. I don't know about that. That's something I wish I don't have the answer to. But the winning lineup, whatever the winning lineup was, and that's not always what the optimal is, but the winning lineup was, and Big T had this team, it was Oladipo and 5 Celtics. So it was Derek White, Horford, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. Didn't you think that was kind of a blowout angle because they just said the Heat are going to suck, so we're playing all the Celtics because we think they're going to win, and we throw one in there just to you're not allowed to play all.
Yeah, no,
team, right?
Yeah, no, it is blowout. I guess it is blowout. I guess the point I'm getting at when I said blowout angle from my point of view, I wasn't saying it was load up on 5 guys on one teams and then go one. It was more so blowout angle is when you start playing the crappy 1K guys, right? Like the Caleb Martins, all of those guys that you're throwing in there. So it was technically more of a balance. It wasn't balanced, but it didn't dive into the crappy 1K range last night. I'll at least say that. The winner did not. Even though I think the optimal did. I believe the optimal did though. Just because I think I don't think Jaylen Brown was on it, but the reason why Jaylen Brown was on so many teams is just because of guys that were expensive. He was one of those last guys you could put in or something. But yeah, that was the point I was getting at. Yes, the blowout angle did hit. You're correct on the side of Celtics just blowing them out and beating them. But it didn't involve the cheap, crappy guys getting a little bit of minutes, right? Getting those 8, the reason why that didn't work spread is it would work on this slate if there was a blowout is because the Celtics have a lot of mid-tier guys, and so like do the Heat, right? Where a lot of those mid-tier guys can get there. I feel like a lot of these like Dallas mid-tier guys, like they just make the ball for like shooting 3-pointers, right? Like Maxi Kleber, like the mid-tier in this game compared to the other game, it's not as good as basketball players. And on top of that, you had guys missing where it increased their roles, right? Marcus Smart missing, increasing the role of other players, where that can help those other options where they're naturally just going to do better. So I think that was part of it as well. But I talked long-winded for a while on this, but I do think this is a slate where because of Luka and all of the production that he sees, like putting him in the captain and then getting like one of those like 1K guys in there is not a bad approach for sure on this slate.
Real quick, who do you like from the Warriors here? Steph's 11-6, Draymond's 8K, Clay's 9-2, Wiggins is 8-2, Poole's only 7-6, but he hasn't had that like huge game yet. Looney's was, when AP was on, hey, that was a great call by me, but now at 7K, I think he's accurately priced. Who are you targeting from the Warriors as far as the better players?
Yeah, I mean, Poole's shots have not been terrific. I mean, 12, 10, and 4. I don't know if they're like face guarding him or keying in on him. But the price is good, right? It's 7-6. I mean, Draymond and 8K, I don't mind him because I like what his upside can be. I think Wiggins, and I've fortunately been on Wiggins like every single game. So Wiggins has been pretty good to me. So I definitely would go back to Wiggins. I kind of like him the most just because I think they're like daring him to shoot and score, and he's doing it, right? And he's doing a good job of it. So I think Wiggins is probably my favorite option of the Warriors. I like Steph. I think Steph is probably the next one for me, then Draymond, then probably Clay, or probably Poole and then Clay. That's probably how I would list them.
Tyler, talk to me about the props.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this game, I'm going right back to Steph. I mean, he's cleared his points prop the last 2 games. It's 27.5 again. I'm going to just go right back to that. I like his performance double. Golden State wins. He hits 5 threes at plus 370. If you wanted to play Clay's rebounds at 4.5, he's hit that 3 of his last 4 games. I think he can get up over that 4.5. And of course, you can just go back to Wiggins' points plus rebounds at like 22.5. We've seen what he's done. He scored 20 points last game and had 11 rebounds, so he blew that number out of the water. They really didn't adjust to it, so I'd go right back up to the over on that.
All right. So Tyler likes the Golden State point guard, Steph Curry. Travis, you agree with me that Steph Curry's a point guard, right?
Yeah. Do people think he's not a point guard?
JSU came on and told us he was a shooting guard, and that
He was also trying to argue that CP3 was a top 3 point guard. And we were filtering some names. Like, this guy's not a point guard. We got to get CP3 up to
that
the
was
top
his
3.
only way to do it, was just to make everybody not a point guard. It was unbelievable.
I mean, one guy who I don't know if is a point guard is like Damian Lillard. Like, he's like just shoots. Like, I don't know. He's like,
I mean, it's
I love
funny.
Dame.
It's out of sight, out of mind. Remember 2 years ago when he was like the most clutch dude in the league, and now it's just like, oh yeah, Lillard, he's cool. Like.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, Dame's fine. I mean, Dame's really talented, but I'm not like the biggest Dame guy for sure. I mean, I think he's. It's just like I think I saw Tyler. Were you the one who tweeted it? Like Dame and like Levine in the backcourt with no defense or something.
Oh yeah, when they were like, he's going to go to Portland, it's going to be like, yeah, they're going to score 105. They're going to give up $115.
Yeah, you know who Dame needs to play next to? Like Reggie Bullock. Like, give him Reggie Bullock. Like, that would be. He doesn't need Zach LaVine. He needs Reggie Bullock next to him, not Zach LaVine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I can't wait to do some NBA offseason content. It would be better than these games, that's for sure.
Speaking of that, Travis, we went over next year's. They have the odds up on DK for next year's championship. We went over them yesterday. A couple that stick out to me. Lakers are 22-1. Like, it's still the Lakers. You still have the best duo in the league, in my opinion. That's a nice price on them.
Well, they're still stuck with Russell Westbrook too.
For now, though, that could all change in a month.
Yeah, I mean, if that changes, I'm in. Like, but I need that to change. I'll at least say that.
Nuggets, Mavericks, 17 and 14-1.
What are the Nuggets?
17.
Okay, I don't know if the Mavericks.
They're not coming back. They have a dead max player on their contract. I mean, you can't have a dead max.
Who's their dead player?
MPJ. He's not coming back.
Well, I mean,
he's never going to be the same dude.
We don't know that.
Backs are tough to come back from.
Clippers at 6-1. It seems like they're trying to hold that number like right on the outside, because that team's going to be stacked next year. The Clippers.
What's the Clippers?
Same thing. Kawhi's not making a whole
6-1.
season either, though.
Yeah, I mean, like Kawhi's pissed me off. He's one of those dudes. Like, he's a professional basketball player that don't play professional basketball. Like, it's just getting old. Like, what do we?
And then the only other long shot that stuck out to me, Pelicans 40-1.
I just don't believe in Zion.
I don't
professional
against
basketball
those guys
player
either.
that don't play professional basketball. I don't believe will be there at the end of the year. Like,
I think that's how you're getting these long shots, right? And it's just off the idea that if these players did come back, right?
It's like the idea of like someone said, like, man, if like Porzingis could stay healthy for a title run for the Mavericks, like, well, he never did, and like they just shipped him out of town because, like, yeah, he's just never going to be healthy. I mean, I don't mind the Clippers one. I like probably one of the more of the long shots. My problem with Dallas is like I don't know how Dallas is going to get any, like, they're losing Brunson, right? Where they're signing him.
Glock doesn't believe it, but we've been trying to let him know. Like, there's no way Homeboy's coming back, dude.
He's
when you
not
have all
coming
those
back.
skills, you don't want to just sit in the corner like you're PJ Tucker,
It just
right? I
depends,
mean, you
right?
want a bigger role on the team.
I mean, unless the New York Knicks are willing to be like, hey, New York Knicks, let's give Jalen Brunson the max. But
Sounds like a pretty Knicks thing to do to me since
The
Tyler wants to run
Detroit-
down my team every day.
Detroit might swoop in and take him. Just pull out Corey Joseph, plug in Jalen
That would be
Brunson.
awesome for him. I think he would work great under Cade. I think he would work great with Cade.
I think that's the perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to like. Is there anyone else interesting that you saw on the board? I'm trying to think of someone. What are the Timberwolves?
55-1.
They got to trade Cat and D'Angelo before I'm interested, though.
Yeah, Cat's too much of a beta to pull it off. But
And
I mean,
D'Angelo, Mr. Snapchat.
If you want to get crazy, Mobley takes
you
that.
sound like a boomer there, by the way. I just want to
Mobley takes that giant
I
step
am.
forward, and same thing with Garland. Cleveland gets one other guy. They're 100-1. I don't think they can get there though.
What were they again? You said Charlotte and who?
No, I said Cleveland. Like if you think Mobley takes the giant step forward, Garland takes the step, they get another guy. They're 100-1. I don't think they're there yet.
What's Memphis at?
15-1.
I don't like Memphis next year. They're another one. Who do they add? Like they're like Dallas. Like how do they get better?
I think they're gonna trade Steven Adams. They're gonna hopefully find some idiot.
What are you gonna get for Steven Adams?
I think they're gonna package Adams and Brooks.
For what?
I don't know. Clearly, they're going to do their cap or something. I don't know, but they're going to try. I mean,
what free agents are out there that
doing a bad job? I'll say that.
I'll be honest. I actually think Levine helps that team a lot if he were to go there. But it seems like he wants to go down to Los Angeles.
I mean, everybody wants to go to LA, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, but like, so here's the problem. Like, if Levine goes to LA, then Russell Westbrook goes to Chicago.
And why would Chicago take on that contract?
Correct. No one's signing up for that. Like, I don't. Like, if you're going to sign up for that, you have to give draft picks. Like that's
like it would take 4 first rounders for me to take Russ. Like you got to be kidding me.
No, that's what I'm saying, Spread. Like if you're going to pull that off, like the only way you can trade Westbrook and also get an asset back is by giving a ton of assets. Like it's just not possible. Like so. I would love for someone to come to the board, like come to the drawing board with me with like a real Russell Westbrook trade that makes a lot of sense because it's damn near impossible.
Our guy Twatty.
The trade's not going to make sense in the NBA going. It's going to be like a salary dump type thing. Like it's going to be Russ a first round pick and give us like just an expiring contract.
Like, earliest one is like 27. Like what GM wants to like take on Russ for a draft pick that his successor is going to use? Like, why would I stock the cupboard for the guy coming after me? I got to win now.
Oklahoma City will gladly take that pick and just deal him out a different direction.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Can they stop the tank, man? Okay, you guys get it, dude. I mean, at a certain point, you got enough draft picks. Okay.
Spread. Hear me out. Are you ready?
Oh,
Talk about a big four of DeMontis Sabonis, Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, and Russell Westbrook at the point. Huh?
That sounds absolutely terrible. That team sounds like it would give up 148 points per night.
Oh, man.
GQ's got a good point. Westbrook for Gordon Hayward. Jordan's stupid enough to do that, and Jordan loves Russell Westbrook.
Oh, that would be the dumbest thing you could ever do.
Russ has one bad season, and the slander travels the universe. Well, we are talking about going forward, right? We're not saying that he didn't have a great career.
Speaking of Charlotte, though, I do think they need to get somebody in there.
People, I watched Marvel Endgame when I was sick this weekend. Do you have like one of those traveling time machines where you can bring me back and give me Russell Westbrook from like the Thunder days? Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, He's not getting better. I mean, I was someone that said I thought it would be a good trade. I thought there's things you're right about, you're wrong about.
Yeah.
One thing I was wrong about was I thought the Westbrook trade could help the Lakers because I thought what could happen is he could do enough in the regular season to kind of keep LeBron and AD healthy enough. And then that way they can get to the postseason and they'll find a way to make it work. But it didn't work. And it's not going to get better. I mean, he's not just magically going to go to the gym and start making 3-pointers. I mean, if he does, hats off to him, but I highly doubt it.
I mean, Larry Bird's one of my favorite players of all time, but I don't want him on my team anymore either. I mean, it's just you get old. And when you're a guy who relies on athleticism, that's what happens. So why not what, Joey? Why not what? I want to hear it. Is this more King slander? All right, what else you got for us, Tyler?
No, I mean, I think that was pretty much it. The only other thing we went over yesterday that we can get Travis's opinion on. Across the NBA, everyone's healthy. No injuries. Who's the best duo on a team?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Who's the best duo? No injuries.
Right now, everyone's 100% healthy. Give me the Lakers, guys.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything?
Clippers are the first one that I
mean, the Clippers come to mind. So do the Nets. The Nets come to mind, right?
Yeah.
KD, Kyrie. KD, Kyrie is a really good combo.
But till LeBron showed me he's fallen off at 100% healthy, give me AD next to him.
No, I mean, you're probably right. It is probably those two.
Because Giannis really doesn't have a guy. Luka doesn't have a guy.
Giannis, Drew, but yeah, Drew's not like.
It's Giannis, Chris, isn't it?
Is it?
Maybe Giannis, Drew.
I like Middleton more.
Here's a question, Spread. You have to get rid of one guy off that team. You getting rid of Drew Holiday or you getting rid of Middleton? If you had to pick one to get rid of.
Where they're at in their careers, Middleton, because Holiday's
just for like for
next season. I think Drew's gonna fall off soon too. He's 32 as well.
No, I know, but the point I'm getting at is I just think what Drew does for Milwaukee is more valuable than what Middleton does for Milwaukee. That was my point.
That can be argued. It's so matchup dependent because if you're going against the Celtics, Middleton's more important because they have two forwards. If you're going against the Suns, you'd rather have Holiday because you want a guy to defend guards. So I think they're really close, but I think Middleton has that offensive upside where he can explode for a 39-point game, and Holiday is going to give me 20 points and some of the best defense in the league.
Tyler, I got another combo for you. Give me Giannis and Grayson Allen because I can trip you and get you.
Yeah, you could hurt AD and even it out. I see what you did there.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Do we think Otto Porter being out tonight does anything but give more minutes to the starters?
Who's out?
Otto Porter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it would really necessarily help. I definitely could see Golden State just being let's close this thing out.
That's what I think. I think they're done here. I think they're let's punch these dudes in the mouth. Let's get out of here. Let's get healthy before the finals and watch these two teams beat the hell out of each other in the East.
I do think they're gonna play it by ear a little bit. They're gonna watch it and in the third. I'm not saying they're gonna quit completely, but I could see them be we smell blood. We're up 10. Let's keep moving and just keep the pedal on the gas and just hope to kind of burn them out that way. So that definitely could be the way they approach it.
All right, let's talk about your favorite team, Travis, before we give out the best bets, because we won't have you on tomorrow. What are you thinking when it comes to the Celtics and the Miami Heat? It's been a pure zigzag so far. Is there a reason for me not to just bet Miami and keep betting the zigzag?
I mean, I just think the Celtics are the better team. So.
Yeah, I know. Everybody said that. Yes, they're the better team. But it's still 2-2, even though they're the better team. They still have these lulls where they score 12 points in a quarter, even though they're the better team.
Yeah, I saw an interesting stat. I think when it was 2-1, this was before last night's game.
Yeah,
the Celtics
quarters.
led, 10 of the 12 quarters or whatever. So, I got my ticket for them to win the East spread, and I'm just not going to waver right now. I'm just going to hold. I'm going to holler.
So you're going to bet for the Celtics to win 2 games in a row?
They don't have to win 2 in a row, but
well, tomorrow night, if you bet it, they would win 2 games in a row because they will get.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I'm betting.
We're going. Okay, so I haven't taken Miami yet. To be fair, I haven't taken it yet.
I mean, they could lose tomorrow's spread and then they win 2 in a row after, right? That could be the way.
Yeah, like they did against Milwaukee. So I mean, it's I don't want to count this team out. Boston. I don't like this team. I'll be honest.
Why? What do you? I've heard people say that. What don't you like about them?
They remind me of Phoenix last year, where they're going on this awesome run.
They're very good at defense.
They're excellent defensively.
They have stars, but they don't feel like the star, right? Like, I
Exactly.
think Jason Tatum's amazing. I'm not slandering him at all, but like, I think a lot of people don't see, like, when you think of stars, right? You think like LeBron, you think Kawhi, you think all these names, right? Anthony Davis. No one, like, yes, I think they think of Tatum, but like, he still hasn't gotten the star respect yet. And I think he's like currently earning it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I just hate that they no show so often.
Yep. I mean, it's
It's-
odd, but
yeah.
they've been really hurt spread, right? Like, they no showed. Like, yeah, they no showed when Robert Williams was out. Like, that was a key
Yeah.
thing. They also didn't have Marcus Smart for games. Like, they had been hurt throughout this series. Like, that's a fair point to bring up, right? And even last series, they had injuries too.
Yeah. I mean,
They haven't played with their full team for most of those games. Like, so they played what?
well, nobody's going to play with their full team with the stupid 82-game season that runs everybody into the ground. So it's part of the game. It's a war of attrition as much as it is a basketball contest.
Agree. I'm explaining why you've been frustrated with them. That's all. Like,
yeah,
like
okay. And you know, I might end up being wrong because I hope they win, and then I hope I get to load up on our guys from Northern California because I'm going to be all over the Warriors in that next series. Well, I'll be over whoever they play.
The one thing that's really nice about this Celtics team is like when they have had like their like full tool of guys, like they've been sick. Like they've been really impressive. So that's another reason to like maybe even say like, hey, you got a 3-game series here, right? Just bet Celtics every single game the rest of the way and like hope it gets done. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's not that simple because like they were like 6-point favorites the other game, and there's also guys always hurt, and you never know who's going to be in and out. But like, if you tell me these next 3 games, I get all these Celtics players, and you got your Heat guys, like, and there's help, like
yeah, but I would also be fine to wager that you're not going to get that fully healthy team.
That's
right. So I mean, we're going back to the Anthony Davis thing. Well, if he stays healthy, the Lakers are going to be great. Yeah, I'm not betting on that. Kawhi Leonard. Hey, if he stays healthy, the Clippers are going to win the title. They would have won the last 2 years. Yep, but I can't count on that.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'm in that camp. I'm with you. I when like the people that were telling me, oh yeah, the Clippers, they're gonna win the title this year, blah blah blah. If Kawhi came back, they'd be the best team. Like, yes, no kidding, they would have been one of the best teams. They would have been amazing, but they don't have him. Add Kawhi Leonard to any team, and that's the key. Take away their defense. Well, what are the Celtics? They're not that team anymore. That is their identity. So when you take away Robert Williams, you take away Marcus Smart, it's going to cause some problems. And you can't take away both, right? I think they can get away with having at least one of them. But I think the bigger piece is definitely right now Robert Williams. Because where is Miami good at finishing? They're good at finishing around the rim. That's where Jimmy Butler that's when he gets going. When Jimmy is like on fire, it's when he's finishing around the rim. Bam Adebayo, he finishes around the rim. Robert Williams is the key more than Marcus Smart in this series for me right now, if I had to pick one defensive piece.
I do.
And also, the alternative is not great, right? The alternative is Daniel Theis when Marcus Smart's alternative
Theis is a regular season player. He can't get minutes.
Yeah.
His minutes are all bad. All bad.
Yeah, they're not good minutes. He should not see the floor anymore.
All right, Tyler, you and I get to talk about Boston and Miami, the least exciting 2-2 series in the history of
We thought it was going to be so good. Like, we thought it was going to be like their bubble series, and this has just been...
It's been so disappointing.
So
as someone who bases their life around watching the tennis in the NBA, look forward to it every night, and by the end of the first
quarter,
it's
fun to bet when you're on the blowout side, but
it's great.
We want a good basketball game to watch at the same time. Like,
I mean,
what fun is it when the game's over by the end of the first quarter?
Yeah, it feels like work, but like we said, let's get these winners. Start with you, Tyler. What's your best bet for today? Side, total, or prop?
I'm gonna go with the side. Give me the Warriors money line, and the prop. Give me Steph to hit 5+ threes, and the Warriors win at +370. Ooh. He hit 5 last game. He hit 4 the game before that. He hit 6 the game before that. All against Dallas. I think tonight he lights them up and finishes them off.
Yeah, hey, as long as we're getting hot takes, can I just say that we're underrating Steph a little bit here as one of the best players left in the series? Heard all this talk about Tatum, all this talk about Butler, Jimmy Buckets, all this talk about Luka being the best player on the floor. At the end of the series, and this is a little bit of a hot take, Steph's going to have the best career out of anybody left playing right now. He's going to have the best career. He's going to have the most career accolades, and we'll probably put him in the top of our little mythical rankings where all you youngsters take out everyone before 1989, which pisses me off, but we won't get to that. But we're just watching this legendary player, and we're talking about everybody else. Tyler, do you agree with me? Steph's going to have the best career out of anyone remaining, and obviously the biggest threat to him is Luka.
Yeah, I'd say that's the only threat to him. Jimmy Butler's not catching him.
No way.
Maybe
Tatum
Boston
could,
turns
but
into
I mean,
a dynasty, but
he's
I
going to
don't
get
see
4
it.
rings.
Yeah, I don't see it how tough the East is. So, yeah, I mean, he's already a mile ahead of everybody in this group. So it's like, yeah, he should finish.
And we're not even talking about him. When LeBron's in the finals, that's all we hear about. They don't even talk about the Lakers. They just talk about the LeBrons. Travis, do you agree, or am I underrating Luka's potential and Tatum's potential?
But how many Finals MVPs does Steph Curry have?
That's the stupidest stat. You guys are just trying to piss me off. That is so dumb. Who cares about a Finals MVP? It's the dumbest thing I've ever. Yes. Finals MVP. It's like nobody talked about a Finals MVP before 2015.
Fred, what are you going to do when Jordan Poole wins this one?
Yeah.
I won't care because it's a stupid award.
Yeah, what's gonna happen when Draymond Green wins it with like a 5-5-5-5-5 stat line?
I'll listen to his podcast because it's great. Can you believe this, Travis? You and I, as interview guys, we have to love the fact that this guy goes off the court and gives us a podcast about the game he just played. I mean, it's literally better than any breakdown that I'm getting.
Oh, yeah, it's the best. I mean,
it's so freaking awesome. I can't believe that we get to hear one of the players, and he's one of the smartest players, in the NBA right now when it comes to just basketball IQ. And to hear him break it down, it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
I do know if he ever has Steph Curry on the podcast, he'll never introduce him as a Finals MVP spread, though. That's the one thing he'll never.
You don't think they'll just give it to him this year, no matter what happens if he wins?
They probably will give it to him because everyone's sick of hearing the joke, but it's a fun joke. So
Twatty says the most important player in a championship series is a stupid award. It's just like this year's MVP, right? How much better was Jokic better than Giannis and Embiid? So we're going to discredit the season that Embiid and Giannis had because Jokic was like a tad bit better, because just Tyler loves Vorp. And he vorped in front of everyone. Those guys all had great seasons. And the fact that, we just try to give it to one guy and act like they're the reason we won when it's a team game. Basketball's always been a team game. LeBron is top 5 player in the league, most likely, and they're not even in the play-in tournament because it's a team game and he didn't have a good team around him. That's why I think it's a stupid award. And the idea, if you facilitate and you do stuff that doesn't show up in the box score, you don't get this award. It's just silly to me. So that's why I think it's a stupid award. And everyone wants to turn this into an individual game. You know what? If someone started a one-on-one league, it would probably sell better than the NBA because everyone only wants to see player versus player. They don't want to see team versus team anymore. All right, I'm done on my soapbox. Travis, give me your winner for today.
So we're gonna go with Dallas money line. We'll take them. They get the job done here tonight. Hopefully they don't get closed out. I want one more game. So
all right, you guys are going head to head with each other. I like that, and I'm gonna chicken out. You want to know I'm chickening out, Travis?
Why?
Let's take Dallas first half. That way I don't have to deal with the Warriors' legendary third quarter.
Be a man, spread. Take Dallas first half, Golden State full game.
There you go. That's a real man move.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this is the perfect time for the promo plug. Tyler, I'm going to be on the live show with you tonight. So after I cash that Dallas first half ticket, we will be able to bet it live at halftime on the live show, brought to you by the Sports Keg and Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. If you're not a member, make sure you head on over there. Tyler and I will be hanging out tonight, and I'll be looking to try and cash that Dallas first half, and then, of course, go to the best bet in the NBA, the Golden State Warriors third quarter. We're going to argue about finals MVPs. You guys are just trying to tilt me. First of all, I have to read reports about how I root for the stupidest franchise in the history of the NBA, and now we're talking about finals MVPs. Unbelievable. All right, Travis, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know it sucks to be sick, man. I mean, I was struggling when I had it and I was doing the shows. We appreciate you. What a gamer you are. What other great content are you producing this week?
Yeah, I'm not just sick now, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of sitting in this.
It sucks, yeah.
That's the worst part. I feel fine though. So content coming up. At Run Pure Sports, we got the MLB Swing for the Fence show in 30 minutes. I will not be on that, but hey, go tune in and check that out. Then we got 6 o'clock tonight, MLB Final Countdown with JSU. Actually, I don't know if JSU's on that. He might not be on that. JSU will be on.
He's not on the Final Countdown tonight. He's been done like every single one the whole playoff.
I'm not sure. Well, there's a chance because he might be doing the NBA one, right? I don't know. I forget.
Wait, there's 2 Final Countdowns?
Yeah, it's going to be ML. Yeah, so MLB's at 6.
MLB,
I don't do the baseball. That's why I don't know.
Yeah, and then 7:15 there'll be the NBA one with Big T. They'll be doing that. And then 9 o'clock will be the strokes gained PGA show. So
how can you have 2 Final Countdowns? There's only one final.
I don't know. I mean, you talk it
It's
up
like
with,
giving out 2 finals MVPs, Travis.
I don't know, talking up with Holden. Yeah, and Steph Curry wouldn't have any of those either. So,
Even if they gave out 2 per series, unbelievable. You guys just love pushing my buttons today.
What are you
but
gonna do
no,
when he doesn't win the
I'll be
Western
on.
Conference Final MVP spread?
Do they even have that?
Yeah, they do this year. There's a Western Conference Finals MVP.
I mean, to be fair, Lucas should get it.
It's going to Looney.
Yeah,
I'll take that. It should be Wiggins.
No, Looney has been amazing though. It's been funny how good he's been. But I'll be on tomorrow's spread. I'll be on the MLB. I'll be obviously the morning show tomorrow. I'm doing 2 MLB shows. I'm doing the morning show with JT Hayes. So we're gonna talk some MLB tomorrow morning, and then 4:45 p.m. tomorrow I'll be on the Run Pure Sports channel doing the Swing for the Fences show as well. So lots of baseball from me tomorrow.
I think it's funny that we the people thinks that I haven't been making money off MLB. I just don't cap it. You know what I do? I go to the Run Pure Bets spreadsheet, and this man right here named Joey Work and JJ put the winners. I put the bets in. I literally don't even check the scores. I have no idea what's going on. If you ask me like the pitcher I bet on that day, I don't know. I just tail the sheets, and I have more money in my account than I did at the beginning of the week. So am I capping MLB myself? No, there's this sport called tennis that you guys all hate that takes up most of my time. So I rely on experts such as Joey Work to give me money. I'm not slandering MLB. It's a great sport. I'm just saying if you're handicapping NBA and you're handicapping tennis, which is on right now and got all my attention, do you know how hard it is to try and handicap MLB? You handicap MLB. You know how hard it is. How many players are there? 25 teams, 30? I mean, it was getting close to 700 players for me to learn. I can't do all that. I'm not slandering MLB. I'm saying I don't watch the shows because I'm focused on tennis and I'm focused on NBA right now. And
Joey,
all that content.
We'll take the L for that. We put spread through too much today, where he's on defense mode, and he thinks everyone's coming at him. So.
No, and it wasn't you guys. It was reading that stupid report that we're going to trade the number 4 pick for like Jeremiah Grant or something.
It was coming.
I'm still not over it.
Tyler, the good news is like an hour from now, spread is going to be the old man yelling at a cloud somewhere. Like we got him rattled today. We did our job.
Yeah, I be yelling at the neighbors' kids.
I hate I don't mind when the kids make noise, but when the adults do, I'm like, come on, guys. Like we're still drinking in the backyard. Like, are we serious? We're still doing that. We can't go to a bar. Can't go out. We're just sitting in the backyard, huh? Okay. All right. Yeah.
After the neighbors, right, once he clicks the show end.
Keg says, I would never slander baseball. Let's see if that's true. Tune in tonight on the live show to find out. So there you have it. Tyler likes the Warriors money line and also takes the Steph Curry performance double with the 3-pointers. Travis going the exact opposite with the Mavericks money line, and I'm chickening out and just taking the first half. Let's see if Reggie Bullock can come through. 4-11 for Derrick Rose. You guys just love tilting me. All right, guys, I got to sign off. I got to get my blood pressure checked. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.